what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my Fibonacci levels from A to B, and currently we're trading around the 50%. Right? And you can kind of see that it's stalled here a little bit, but it hasn't started dropping from there yet. So it may be able to get back into the 61.8, or who knows, it can go right through this. But me as a trader, I'm going to make the assessment. If I see it hit the 61.8 and start to turn back, I'm possibly going to put a trade on, because it's going to give me a good risk to reward where I can put a trade on that I can say, well, it's not supposed to make a higher high because this is a downtrend, right? Remember, I told you the trend is your friend. It's not supposed to make a higher high. So if it hits the 61.8 and starts to fall, I can let that happen. I don't have to get in at the top. I don't have to get in at the bottom. I can let it hit the 61.8 and start to fall, and I would get in, right? I might be a little bit late, but here's my trade. I'll put my stop above the high, because in the downtrend we have lower lows, lower highs. So it should not take that high out. If it does, I'm clearly wrong, and I'm going to aim for a lower low. That is the anatomy of how you would set up a trade using solely the basics of the Fibonacci ratio and a knowledge of the trend of the market. Now, you will be wrong sometimes on these, but your point as a trader is not to measure the times when you're wrong. Just maximize profit on the times when you're right, and keep your risk at a set amount, and you'll definitely be successful at this. There are a million ways to trade, but the people who are disciplined and do the same thing over and over and over again, they're the ones that make money in the market, okay? So that's using the Fibonacci tool in a nutshell. If you guys have any questions on it, go ahead and put it in the Telegram, put it in the whole group, because if you have a question, somebody else might have the same question. I know a lot of guys in the group, they'll inbox me with their questions, but put it inside the group so other people can see it. I'm actually just going to look at another example. I'm just going to pick a random pair and just see if we can just find any example of Fibonacci right exactly now, right? Oh, okay, here we go. And your eyes are going to start getting trained to see this stuff as it happens. So I'm going to take a move from here, from this point here where the market, you can see that this is a lower high. And I'm going to take it all the way down to here. So I'm going to call this point my A, right? And you can see that we're in a downtrend. So let's call this A. And you guys should know where B is, the bottom of the trend, where it stopped at, right? It's got to have a stopping point. You can't anticipate where A or where B is going to be. You'll actually know where A is because it'll be where the move started. So we got A here, right? And B there. Grab your Fibonacci tool, click it, click at the high of A to the low of B. It spreads out just like that. But look what we had happen. I just picked a random pair, guys, and it came from A, came to B, came all the way to the 61.8, the magic ratio, and then all of a sudden it fell. So this trade, let's see what that netted. I'll show you how to tweak your stops, because once it starts going, I'll show you that you can really just risk somewhere in between here. But for now, you're going to say, well, it's not going to go back above A, right? And all of a sudden, that produced from here to here, and it came back to the 61.8. We made 487 pips just looking at these Fibonacci ratios and putting it together, just as simple as A, B, and wherever your stopping point is, right? Wherever it stops, remember, it's got to stop first and start going the other way. You don't want to anticipate which one of these is going to stop on. Although, like I said, most of the time, if the trend is down, that 61.8 is going to be respected. So I want you guys to make sure you write that number down, that 61.8 level, and just know that when it hits that level in a downtrend, you're definitely going to get a move, all right? Now, I'm going to actually expand this and show you guys something else. all right? Because I just showed you guys that little section there. Well, let's see how this whole thing looks. All right, so here we go with the whole picture. Once again, you guys can definitely see this is a downtrend. Well, we have a high here and a low here. Well, let's switch our A and our B. So let's go get A, and let's make this point here A, and we have a low at B, right? It's kind of small. Let's make it larger. Bring it up. All right, there we go. Now let's get our Fibonacci tool, and let's go from the high of A to the low of B. This market came up. First it stopped at the 618 and it pulled back some. You guys can see that. Then it came up to the 786, and from the 786 you haven't seen it since. So once again, your trade, right? This is just one way of trading. I'm going to show you guys very different methods, and what you do is the method that fits your personality, you can stick to that one and do it over and over and over again. I've got a million ways to skin the profitability cat. It's only up to you guys to be which one fits your personality and which one you can be disciplined and do the same thing over and over and over again. That was 1,593 pips. Is that it? 1,000. This is 407. Oh, and this is 1,059 pips. Just using the Fibonacci tool, finding the high, finding the low, drawing your fib, waiting for it to see which one it stops at or bounces off. All right. So I'm not gonna run this video over. I want you guys to go through your charts and practice this, practice this, practice this. And when you're practicing, post them in the group. Right? If you see one live, say, hey, look at this. I got a move down. Here it is. It's gonna probably bounce back. I drew up a fib. Look what happened, right? It's practice, 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 okay? I'm showing you guys all of the right things to do. It's just up to you to do it. There's method to the madness, right? All you got to do is have patience, and Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm building up you guys' knowledge base on how trading works and what the professionals do to make their money day in and day out, right? So I've already showed you guys the anatomy of a trend. You can look stuff up on that on YouTube. I showed you guys support and resistance. That's another very important thing. And I showed you the Fibonacci tool. Because if you have your support and resistance lines drawn on the chart, and all of a sudden it coincides with the Fibonacci retracement, that makes for an even better trade. All right, guys. Once again, this is your boy Jermaine Houghton, and thank you guys for participating in this trading class, this Remora Trading Group, and I'll see you guys in